Do you find yourself a little bit bored and you're ready to take your paper crafting to the next level? Or maybe you love the great outdoors, or you're needing to make some great guy cards. Today I'm going to share some tips and techniques using the Woodsy Wonderland. Literally, you can take the great outdoors and capture it on your paper crafted projects. So you and I are going to have some fun and learn these techniques together. To get started, I personally like to stamp and color a lot of the images so that you can then layer and piece it together to create those beautiful scenes. And the images that I'm using come from the Woodsy Treescape stamp and die set. These have some of your main trees and one of the little birds in the stamp and die set, so those coordinate perfectly together for quick and easy stamping and die cutting. And then this one's called the Woodsy Critters. This one is one of my favorites. I absolutely love all the birds, the little foxes, rabbits, and deer. It's such a fun set. It says it has 7 pieces, but when you cut them out, you have around 13 with all the little animals that get cut out and separated. So the first thing I'm going to show you is just how I stamp it, and then we'll show the coloring technique. So I'm stamping with a ColorBox dark brown chalk ink, and I've adhered multiple images to a larger acrylic block. You could stamp them all at one time, so it's a time saver for you, or if you wanted to, you could stamp them individually. So when I stamp them with multiple images on a large acrylic block, I do like to give it some firm, even pressure to ensure that each image is stamped very well. So once that's stamped, you can then take the individual dies, lay them on top, tape them into position, and cut those images out with your die cutting machine, and you quickly have those accent pieces that are ready to color. To color the tree, I first of all added some accents of the cantaloupe using a sponge dauber. So I just kind of randomly did like those yellow accents. I did a little bit down in this section, maybe a little bit on the deer as well. I just about called them goats. Those are not goats, those are deer. So our next step is to add some accents of the bamboo leaves. So this is, I like to tap off a little bit on the side to just see how much of that color I have in there. So this very quickly gets you that color in. And if you add the color before you cut it out with a die, it's very easy to add that quick color. Now, since I want to add a little bit more detailed color, I'm going to go in with my northern pine, and it's a Fantastic. It's basically the same tip as a sponge dauber, except it's more pointed, so it allows you to get more of that fine detail. So this one's the northern pine. Just add little spots of that color in there. If you find that it's kind of like, ooh, that's a little bit too much, you can go back and kind of blend it out. Once I've done that color, I'm going to add a little bit more down in this section. So just kind of add some quick darker color of grass at the bottom. And then I want a hint of some darker orange, which is a potter's clay. And I'm going to just add that in there as well. So we'll just kind of add those two. So you can do fall trees, you could do spring flowering trees, you could add flower soft, you could add glitter, you could do all sorts of fun accents to these trees. So you can add as much or as little color as you like. So I'm just going to go back, add a little bit more sponging in here to just add, kind of brighten that tree up just a little bit more. So that's kind of some fun coloring, and this is going to be cut out with a die. And then for the deer, what I would go back and do is just use some of the dark brown ink. Just want to make sure I don't have too much, and just kind of go in a circular motion and just kind of lightly start coloring in that color of the deer. So that's my method for quickly coloring these animal images and adding them, getting them ready to add to my card base. To add the Woodsy Wonderland to a card base, I personally prefer using the fold-out cards. This was a 6x6 card base that I chose from the 6x6 fold-out cards in the Kraft color. So there's different styles to choose from. So to add the paper to a card base like this, I just wanted to show you that very quickly. This one has some paper on it already, but you'll just take your raw fold out, and what I'll do is, say I'm trying to cover this piece right here. The easiest way to do that is just lay your cut piece that's just a tad smaller than your 6x6 panel. Just pop that onto your card base in the back, and then just lay that down and open this card base all the way up, and if you want, you can go back and you can just trace along the top edge with a pencil. Pop that out of your card base, and then you can lay your die on top. Just make sure that it's just kind of bumped up to the edge. And then once that's done, since you're going to need a front piece and a back piece, you can actually go ahead and cut both of those out at one time. So what I'll do is I'll have the front piece here, and then I'll sandwich it together. The only thing you want to make sure you do is this is going to be the front, and then this is going to be the back. So make sure the paper is turned out properly. So once you have those cut out, we'll just flip this open and we'll add this piece to the back. And you'll notice I pre-glued the border down. Now these border dies that I am using come out of our Fleur Border Basics die and our Elegant Border Basics. So I'm using the straight die and some of the embellishment or the more filigree dies from those two sets. So you'll just go ahead and add your glue to your paper background, and then you'll be ready to add the accents that you pre-colored, stamped, and die cut out. So it really creates a beautiful scene that you can easily accent. So first step, maybe what you'll want to do is take this tree and glue it down, maybe even with some pop dots, and add it to the front here. So you'll really just quickly, you can just lay it out and see if you like how it's positioned, and you'll just give it a little bit of time to dry. So maybe like these trees, like I saw the tree range in the background here, so I put those on the top. So you'll just glue those down, and then I went back and I added a little deer grazing beside the log. So you can literally just kind of lay out the pieces and see if you like how it looks with the Woodsy Wonderland paper in the background, and you can quickly create those dimensional, beautiful scenes. So we'll take a look at some more of the samples created with the Woodsy Wonderland collection. This is another stamp set called Woodsy Wonderland. I love the images in here, especially these flowers, the rocks, the little butterflies, and this log. And those get cut out with the coordinating die. And all of these stamps are absolutely amazing to build these scenes. But here's the log. You have the little raccoon sitting on there, the rabbits, the little squirrel. There's so much detail. And using some of the paper really just adds those finishing accents. Here's another one that's absolutely gorgeously colored. You have the little skunk, the little fox, rabbit, flowers, the trees, all that fun stuff. Here's one of the cards with the new dies that have kind of makes it look like a hill, but it's on an A2 card. So just add the trees and have some fun little critters on that card front panel. Here's another one. This is a Happy Father's Day card. Isn't that beautiful? You have got the logs. You open this up and you have this beautiful dimensional scene on the inside. Here's one that was really kind of using the background paper very beautifully, and then just adding some flower, the little stones, the tree for a quick accent piece. So if you use the trees and the background papers and the accents together, you'll have a beautiful, beautiful way to create the scenic cards. This is the Woodsy Landscape Stamp and Die, and for that one, I used it on most of the projects. Here's another little dimensional frame. We did a lot of dimensional frames with this collection using the 6x6 frame that comes from the fold-out card pack that I just showed you. There's a frame in there like this, so you can do autumn, fall colored frames. You could attach a card in the back. This makes an amazing, amazing gift. Here's one that looks a little bit more wintry with some pine trees in it. Isn't that stunning? Here's another one that's a different size project. That one has a lot of the old mill in the background, a lot of the little critters and the accents, and this one too. I don't want to miss this one. This one is absolutely beautiful. So you have this little clasp on the front and it opens up. And here's the 6x6 frame that comes out of that fold-out pack again. Isn't that beautiful? And just there's an acetate piece on the top. And then she wrapped it to kind of create the album spine. So that was all hand created by Rajni. You'll want to check out the blog for more detailed information on how she put that one together. So there's lots of different ways, from more complicated projects to something that's more simple and easy to put together. Here are some that were just done with the card accents. Oops, that one just fell down. There we go. So you have the little flowers on the side using a card panel. And here's another one with just an A2 card, adding some small accents. And I absolutely love how design team member Maureen added this card. It's very similar to what I just showed you. That I got my inspiration from this card, and it creates a beautiful scene. So last but not least, we're going to flip through this gorgeous, gorgeous Woodsy Wonderland paper collection. This is what makes it all come together so beautifully and pairs together with those stamps and dies that you'll have so much fun with. Isn't it crazy how simple and easy these techniques are to create these stunning scenes? Now you may still be sitting there thinking, Emmylou, is it really that easy? I encourage you to just follow along with the video step by step and do it multiple times till you feel completely comfortable with it. And tell me what your favorite techniques were. You can leave a comment below in the video. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss out on those future videos. If you don't own the Woodsy Wonderland Collection yet, what are you waiting for? Make sure to add those to your cart. I've added those links below for quick and easy ordering. Thank you so much for watching today. I'll see you next time.